What makes Great South Bay Music Group Inc. Different from other publishers is that being independent, being in New York, we have more flexibilities in the kind of deals we can do with songwriters. We won't just do a deal that's going to tie up a songwriter's whole entire catalog. We are flexible in that we can do single song deals, or we can do a few songs in one deal. Whereas when you're dealing with bigger publishing companies, they pretty much want the whole enchilada. They want you in a full-on publishing deal with option periods and everything else. GSB, we're independent. We go song by song. We're flexible, and with our deals that we can do, and we're also very hands-on with pitching. We're constantly getting sync placements and pitching for sync, and we're very aggressive as far as getting everything wired up with the proper outlets to get paid. Whereas, I'm not going to name names, but other publishers out there are very sloppy sometimes. The minute I close a deal with a songwriter, I reach out to the label, get our share set up, get it confirmed with the label that they have us in the system, and then I go right away to ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, make sure the song's registered there. Then I also go to the Library of Congress, copyright the song. Then I have international sub-publishers all over the world that I send my catalog info to, who in their territories get everything set up so the income comes through. What happens is we get our money internationally, and then we take our cut out, we pay the rest to our clients, and they see that in our statements. I definitely think we are very aggressive, more aggressive than other publishers as far as confirming splits, because the most important thing to know is if song splits don't equal 100%, then no one's getting paid on that song. Whether it's mechanical royalty income, whether it's the performance income I told you, or whether a sync opportunity comes in for a song to be in a movie. If you don't have the publishers and the writers all agreeing to these splits equaling 100%, that song is going to go on hold and won't be payable. We make sure the first thing we do when we close a deal is get our share set up in the system, and then we rope in all the other publishers or the writers that may be involved in that song to confirm their splits right then and there. If you don't do that, it could take years sometimes to confirm the splits with the other parties. So we're very aggressive with getting the other parties outside of us to confirm their portions of the song. Biggest lesson that I've learned in the music business is due diligence. This is a business at the end of the day. And unfortunately, you're dealing with sometimes people you don't know, you've never done business with, and they're repping and warranting that they have certain rights, or they're giving you their word. But it's really, you have to look into it and you have to research and make sure things are accurate and as most accurate as they can be. Example of this. A lot of times I will offer somebody a publishing deal and they tell me they haven't collected any royalties. And I listen to them and say, okay, but then I go to the label and I tell the label that I'm planning on working with this person, this songwriter, can you tell me if they've been paid any royalties or not? And the label said, yeah, they've gotten paid royalties. They're getting the royalties already, So when we do a deal, we're advancing you on the royalties that we're going to collect. And we're advancing you based on the fact that we can go out and collect this income, whether it's from BMIs, ASCAP, CSAC, or whether it's mechanical income, right? And if that money's already being collected and it's already rinsed out, then I'm paying you in advance based on what I think is out there. You've already collected it. Now I'm going to be getting in the checks of the money after you've already collected. It's going to dwindle down to like 10, 100 bucks, 20 bucks. It'll take me forever to recoup my advance. Now I could go out and get a sync placement and maybe that'll help, but that's not guaranteed. So part of the due diligence process that I have to deal with is making sure that when people say they're not in or another problem I have is people say they're not in a publishing deal when they really are. Like we have to, I do my research to really make sure that these people aren't in other publishing deals. What I first do is when I see that there's a songwriter I want to work with, I'll look and see if the song that I'm interested in doing a deal with is registered with ASCAP. If it isn't, then that's a good inkling that most likely he doesn't have a publishing deal and there's nobody there registering his songs. However, if it is registered and I see a publisher next to him, like that's an established publisher, then I'm going to say to myself, well, you're telling me you're not in a deal, but this song's registered with this publisher as the contact and as the administrator. So what's going on? It's very important that my songwriters are operating under their word of what they're saying to me. When they sign my agreement, I'm operating under the final terms of the agreement, and they're bound by the terms of the agreement. So when they're repping and warranting they haven't collected any money, you know, I'm taking that as face value, but I try to really dig in deep to find out if that really is the case.